Hey everyone. So I'm just waiting for everything to go live. I'm going live on multiple platforms. So, one thing that I wanted to talk about tonight is really being intentional about where you are in your entrepreneurship journey. Because what happens a lot of times is that we are not as intentional about our entrepreneurship journey. And so I'm a nurse coach. My name is Dr. V. I am the CEO and the founder of VP Nursing and the Nurse Nurturer, where our goal is to teach nurses how to work from their computers anywhere around the world, making money and owning their own time. So we do have a master class that's coming up here shortly. And so my website is vpnursing.com. If you want to go to the website and sign up for the master class, it's going to be July 5th from 6 until 8. And one of the things we're going to talk about is nurse entrepreneurship, because many times we're taught to work for someone else, many times. And the reality is that when you get to the point, so I've always thought that I worked in healthcare for 30 years. And one of the things that I used to think, well, this is working. But then I kind of took a peek behind the curtain and found out that it just wasn't working the way that it should. And so I became very burned out. And I was like, I really need to make a difference in healthcare, but just in a very different way. Right. And so if this is resonating with you, I encourage you to, come in and like the post and just really be intentional about just understanding this from this standpoint, that we in healthcare, we have dealt with this for years and years and years. And the definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting a different result. And we have the ability to be able to change the world. Now, in the course of changing the world, we have the ability to be able to change ourselves as well. We have the ability to be able to go in and create generational wealth for us, because wages and profits. So if you think about it, profits will make you a fortune, wages will make you a living. So if you want to make a fortune, right, you want to think profits. You want to have, that ability to be able to go out and make money on your own, right, without other people having to dictate to you what how you can make your money, right? Because for years and years and years, I made money, like people gave me what they wanted to give me, those 2 to 3% raises every year that really didn't give you the that you needed, right? And so understanding that coaching and consulting is something that you already know, that you already have the mindset in order to be able to do. You just need to be able to do that thing. And we were talking one day, Myron Golden came. I just went to a conference and he was at the conference. And one of the things that he talked about is time and money, right? So time is, a lot of people say, well, time is money, which time and money are not equally exchanged, because the way that he explained it was, if you had $25 million, right? Everybody who wants $25 million, raise your hand, right? Okay. But then if you, with the caveat of getting the $25 million, then you had to end your life today. Would you keep the $25 million? Absolutely not. I mean, most people wouldn't anyway, because you can't spend that much time. But you can spend more time making more money, right? So then inversely, if you had terminal illness, and if you had that terminal illness and you had $25 million, and they said that with 100% accuracy that this $25 million would cure that disease process, would you give away your $25 million? And absolutely you would. And see, the reality is that we spend years and years and years trying to get to $1 million. Well, you can get to $1 million, right? We've all made $1 million, or at least a good portion of us, especially if you're a nurse. You've made $1 million over the lifetime of your career as a nurse. But the reality is that, do you want to spend all that time making that $1 million? Or do you want to get to the point where you are doing what you need to do in order to move the needle, and of course affecting other people in that same way? And so, we talked about, one of the things that, I say all the time is that having that morning success routine. So in the morning, I'm very intentional, right? So I have it written on my wall over here about what I do in the morning. So I'm very regimented in the morning. And I started that before I actually came into this, because I've got all these degrees, right? And all these degrees, thinking that I was going to make a significant impact, when the reality is that I hadn't made a significant impact with all these degrees within a system that is not designed for us to win at times, right? And so I knew that I had to go on the outside of the system to make a sustainable change. And so one of the things that I did was developed the success routine. So when I was in school to get my doctorate degree, I developed this routine because I had children. Right, I had two children. We had five altogether. We're a blended family, but they weren't here at the time. And so one of the things that I did was I was ensuring that I had that morning success routine. So when I get up in the morning, I'm very intentional. The first thing I do is I open up the book. I have a Miles Monroe book that I read, and I read it's like a daily listen, reading every day, and it has a scripture attached to it. So then I read that scripture, and then what I do is I start to, after that, reading that scripture, then I start to pray, right? And so after I'm praying, then I look at all my numbers, right? So, my key performance indicators, because just like in business, just like in the healthcare system, in business, you have to look at your key performance indicators, right? And so I look at my key performance indicators, how many leads that I get, how many link clicks that I get, how much money did I spend the day before, things of that nature. And it's a very easy process because I have a very systematic way of doing things. And then once I finish that, then I go downstairs and I get on the treadmill and I run, or I go outside with one of my friends and I run, right? And then after we run, then we come back in and I get the day started. And one of the things that is a game changer, okay? One of the things that is a huge game changer and has been for me since I've gotten back from the conference, and this is the value of hanging out with like-minded people, right? Came back from the conference and they talked about having your spending 25 minutes of your time and clocking that 25 minutes of your time and not doing anything else. So I have my phone on focus, right? And so it is on focus, and I literally don't, like, I'm not constantly getting ding, right? You're constantly getting ding, and it's carrying your attention, right? And so that's one of the things that I don't even have to worry about, right? I put it on focus for 25 minutes. I set my alarm, and for that 25 minutes, I did do very focused work. And the reason why is because when you have deviated attention, you can really not get as much done. It's just like you flying from, California to New York, right? Just think about it. If you have a straight flight from California to New York, then you'll get there in a much shorter time than if you stop in each state, because you have that deviated attention, right? And so you want to make sure that you are constantly moving the needle. You want to make sure that you're constantly doing what you have to do in order to make sure that needle is being moved. And that's one of the things that you can do. And it's really, really helped me because I was having such divided attention. And so another thing that is key is understanding that you really have to hang out with people who are owning their own businesses, because a lot of times what happens is we don't hang out with people who are owning their own businesses and doing their own thing. And when we don't do that, then we will always, one of my clients, she just told me, she said that she was talking to one of her coworkers, and her coworker said that I would rather have that guaranteed, okay, although it's not guaranteed, paycheck every week. And she said, I don't want to go into business for myself. And she said, and what she realized was that she cannot hang out with her any longer, that she has to hang out with people who are like-minded. And so understanding that if you're the sum total of the 5 people that you hang out with the most, and if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. Being very clear on that and having a clear stance on where you need to be in order to make sure that you are moving that needle is key. Because I can guarantee you, the thing that separates you from everyone else, you have a gift. Your gift will make room for you. Period, point blank, end of story. You have to understand that. And it's the consistency. And a lot of times what people do, because business is kind of up and down. It's up and then you go over, and then it's up and then it's over, and then sometimes it's down, and then you're like, well, this is not working. Well, the reality is that you're not working it, right? You want to make sure that you're maintaining that consistency, because consistency separates one hit wonders from all time greats. And you have to be very, very clear on that. You have to be very, very clear on the fact that if you keep going, you keep moving the needle, you keep hanging out with people who are doing the doggone thing, then one day you will be doing it. It is a millionaire mindset, but the mindset is 80% of it, 20% of it is skill set. And we think that is 20% that we've got to highlight the 20% when the 20% is not something that we really need to highlight. At the end of the day, you want to make sure that you are moving that needle for your own self, not just for yourself, for your business, for your family, for each person that is attached to you. Because what happens is it's a ripple effect. And that ripple effect comes in, and people see you doing that thing. People see you moving the needle. People see you moving. My mother passed away about a couple of weeks ago, and it has been one of the toughest things that I have ever had to deal with in my life, right? And I don't want to ever be that person that says that I'm that strong black woman. But at the end of the day, because there have been times when I have broke down. But I do want to say that I never ever want to sit back and let somebody think that you stopped because your mother passed away. Because my mother was such a strong influence in my life, that's one of the reasons why I have not stopped. One of the reasons why I will not stop. Because at the end of the day, what I wanted to do is I want my gift to make room for me. And that's what I want for you as well. I want your gift to make room for you. I want you to be able to move the needle in your family so that you can create generational wealth, that you can live full and die empty. And that's what you want every single solitary day. So I encourage you, if you're a nurse or if you're a coach, I encourage you to attend the masterclass that we're having on July 5th from 6 until 8 p.m. It is going to be absolutely amazing. We're going to have such a good time. Again, masterclass, and the link should be in for those of you on Instagram, you have to go to my website, which is vpnursing.com. But for those of you who are on Facebook, who are on LinkedIn, and those of you who are on YouTube, it's in the copy of where you are looking at me at. So I encourage you to go there. And if you have any questions, please reach out to me. I'm very nice most days. I'm very nice every day, actually. So if you need anything, you can just reach out to me. But again, master class from 6 to 8, July 5th. And we're going to have an amazing time, 6 to 8 p.m. You guys have a phenomenal rest of your night. Bye-bye.